Hey guys, I'm Michael Hernandez, and I think I might have been the only loser child in America who, growing up, my favorite dinosaur was the Pachycephalosaurus. It's a lot better than the Triceratops, which is kind of lame despite its horns, but it's a whole lot more lame than the Tyrannosaurus Rex, or the Velociraptor, or the Yanchuanosaurus, or the Allosaurus. Hey guys, welcome to Rumble Book Club. I'm your host, Michael Hernandez, and this is the show where a normal guy like me can talk about interesting books I've read, old and new, good and bad. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this mic right here. So, if you like these videos that I'm doing, and you want to become a part of the conversation, and makes you think about other books that you want me to cover over these videos, follow me. I'm on Rumble. I have select videos on YouTube. I'm on Parler. Follow my videos, like them, share them, and talk about them. Let me know if there's anything you want me to read, or there's any charities that I talk about in the videos that you'd like me to start letting the public know about. Before we begin, I want to talk about our charity focus, and today that is the Little Sisters of the Poor. God blesses each and every person with human dignity. The elderly and the sick are in many cases left out of view completely from a society that drifts further and further from respecting human life every year. The Little Sisters of the Poor has made it their mission to provide love, care, and community for the sick elderly of every race, religion, nation, and creed. Located in over 30 countries, the sisters have spread the love of Christ to homes all over the world, to people who are in many cases forgotten and alone, and all they want is, in many cases, just a little company and a little care. If you want to help this organization, you want to help the elderly and the sick and the needy, you can go to their website to contact your local chapter at littlesistersofthepoor.org. That's littlesistersofthepoor.org. All right, so today we have a really fun one that I really enjoyed the first time I opened it as a kid about 15, 20 years ago. It was an exciting read then, and it's an exciting read now. Today we're going to take a look at the famous, the one and only Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. Pretty sure I pronounced that correctly. So, if you don't know what Jurassic Park is, oh my goodness, you must have been living under a rock since the 1990s when it came out. So this covers a dinosaur theme park gone wrong. It was the inspiration for the blockbuster hit by Steven Spielberg, and they even created some more recent spin-offs of this Jurassic World nebulous starring Hollywood star Chris Pratt. So it's a obviously a very popular series. Adults, kids alike, they've grown to really love the whole concept of the Jurassic World, the whole universe created and initiated by Michael Crichton, but picked up by other movie creators and the like. So let's start with the aesthetics. It's a simple cover. It's got a nice design, not too crazy, not too colorful. Very simple. It's got the iconic T-Rex. This is a reprint, but even the old one had a very similar layout. It just wasn't silver; it was white. But again, it's got that iconic T-Rex image. You can't hate that. And it's got a good size and thick for the thickness that it is. You can just tuck it into your backpack and read it. Strong 9 out of 10 on the aesthetics. Looking at the readability, it's got a simple storyline. Michael Crichton writes really direct, very linear fashion. He's not constantly going back and doing flashbacks or anything like that. It's very straight, very linear, and makes it easy to read. He doesn't oversaturate the story with characters and jargon, scientific jargon, despite the fact that this is science fiction. And he makes it simple to follow the genetics and that kind of pseudo-science that science fiction is known for. Stuff that's believable but not necessarily always accurate. The text is a little bit small. If you'll notice, it can be a little bit hard. I'm sure that with the original printing or other newer updated printings, it's probably a little easier. But this one in particular, the pages are a little small. But with the off-white, it makes it a little easier on the eyes. It's not so glaring as if it was eggshell white. So I'm still going to rate it high as a 9 out of 10 on the readability, despite the fact that you might fight your way through this particular one visually with the eyes, because the printing is a little small. The reading itself, very easy fun reading. Now, looking at the content, it is action-packed, it's exciting, it's interesting, even if you're not a dinosaur fan, if you're just a basic science fiction fan or just a basic fiction fan. It's a fun story any way you read it. It follows the story of Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, Alan Grant being a paleontologist and then Ellie Sattler being his grad student. They work together, digging up dinosaur bones the old-fashioned way. So they're approached by John Hammond, who's a millionaire, successful businessman, and he's created this park. He wants them to review. It's a park that the theme is going to be extinct animals. So I'm sure you're familiar with the storyline, but I'm gonna kind of rehash it anyway. He approaches them at their site and wants them to review the park. He can't really officially open, according to his lawyers, unless he brings in some experts that declare that it can be definitively safe for the public. So as paleontologists, he wants their opinion. They're some of the best. Alan Grant's one of the most renowned in the world. So as they invite all these specialists, one of them being Ian Malcolm, who's a specialist. He's a mathematician. He specializes in chaos theory. And he's asking their advice, and particularly Malcolm, but Malcolm's not completely alone. He has this dubious feeling. He believes that there is too much confidence in their ability to control this wild environment that they really don't know anything about. The fact that these dinosaurs are man-made doesn't excuse the fact that they did originate in nature. And because they have that seedling of nature, Malcolm warns them beforehand that chaos theory dictates that, with these being natural animals and with natural instincts and DNA that was built over millions of years, you're not going to be able to control it the way you think you do. And they kind of talk them down and talk about all these systems they have in place, but as they're explaining these systems that they have to check the population, to make sure they can't breed, to make sure they can't escape the island, to make sure they can't get out of their habitats, whatever it is, you start seeing the little holes. It's like Swiss cheese. You start seeing the holes in their logic, start seeing the holes in their processes, and Malcolm's kind of keeping note, and Grant kind of has this uneasy feeling that maybe he can't articulate the way Malcolm can, but he feels it in his gut that these are wild animals, regardless of whether or not they were specifically crafted by human hands. And so you see things start to really unwind bit by bit as they go out on this tour, which also includes John Hammond's grandkids that he brings over. So the book really explains how even the best laid human plans can be overturned because nature has this strong pull to expand and progress however it sees fit. And it really underlines the futility of man to ultimately tame nature. We can create our systems that allow us to survive in nature and around nature, but we cannot definitively tame it. It can't be done, which is really the point that Michael Crichton is trying to drive home here. One of the things I really like about the book more than the movie is you actually get to see more of the dinosaurs in the book. You get to follow the action. You see the dinosaurs' behavior more in the book, and it's a lot more interesting. The dinosaurs themselves are more interesting to see and to read about than on the big screen, where they're just kind of seen as like these big movie monsters. They're actually more dynamic to read about. So one scene that really popped out is they're trying to sneak past the sleeping Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it's not nowhere in the movie. In the book, they're trying to escape, and then the Tyrannosaurus is sleeping by this huge lagoon, and Alan Grant and the two kids are getting into this life raft, and then she coughs. Lex has to cough, and it wakes the T-Rex up. It kind of gets up, and he goes into describing how the T-Rex is moving, and it makes it feel more like a live animal instead of just this big monster that you see in the Spielberg film. It talks about how it's just yawning, it kind of burps because it had a big meal, and it has this huge hind leg that it scratches behind its ear like a dog. I thought that stood out to me. I thought that was just kind of a really cool comparison to make, because we can relate to a dog. We can't relate to a dinosaur, so this kind of brings those two together. And then they're rowing away, and Lex says, well, it can't, it's okay, we're in the water, it can't swim. And her brother says, yes, it can, you idiot. It's close to a reptile, and all reptiles can swim for the most part. It can swim. And you see the Tyrannosaurus, or you read that the Tyrannosaurus climbs into the water, starts walking, and then starts swimming. And it describes its tail kind of propelling it forward just like a crocodile. And it's terrifying as you see it kind of move closer and closer to the raft. And it just builds the suspense. And you don't get that in the movie. You just don't. I would highly recommend getting it. The content is a clear 10 out of 10. Go get the book. You can find it at Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. You can find it at just about any local bookstore, but if all else fails, like I said, go to eBay or Amazon. The book is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. Go out and get yourself a copy. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and go read something.